Hurricane Floyd delivers its most powerful blow in the Wilmington, North Carolina area. The center of the storm moves ashore.
Powerful winds whip the coast of the Carolinas, knocking out power to hundreds of thousands of homes, while heavy rains and surging seas flood the streets. In Texas, tragedy of another sort. 8 people dead, 7 others wounded in a church shooting. Good morning from CNN Center in Atlanta. I'm Gene Randall.
And I'm Brian Nelson. We're following 2 major stories this morning. In a moment, the latest on last night's shooting at a teen prayer rally in Fort Worth, Texas. But first, Hurricane Floyd.
And at the Weather Center, Warren Sidney. Warren?
Well, a much-awaited landfall is happening now across parts of the North Carolina coast. Let's call it the southern, southeastern North Carolina coast. How about south of Wilmington? We're seeing about 15 miles to the south of Bald Head Island is where the center was last reported. That was just about an hour ago, so the center of the storm is probably indeed just about to work its way inland. We did have a correction that came out of the Wilmington National Weather Service office. The winds are at 110 miles an hour as of 2 a.m. this morning, so that still places us at a Category 2 storm. And it looks like the trend is continuing for a north-northeast movement about 18 miles an hour. The problem has been the rain. You've got really saturated grounds across the region. For example, you have had rains in excess of 20 inches across parts of coastal areas, especially east of a line from Tar Heel to Pawleys Island. In addition to that, you're looking at another 5 to 6 inches of rain coming on as this storm system moves ashore. As I told you last hour, we still have wind gusts of a hurricane force around the Wilmington area. Things will be improving, though, as we head on through the morning. Gene?
Thanks, Roland. The storm is battering the coast of North Carolina with drenching rain and winds reaching 100 miles an hour in some places. CNN's Jeff Flock knows that all too well. He's in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Jeff?
That's right, Gene. Just a few moments ago, we really had some strong gusts, the first real significant gusts of the night. They backed off just a moment, but for just a moment, but now you can perhaps see the water continue to fall. And I don't know if you're able to see through there, Stike. Maybe you can see that the wind has really picked up here. And we were told, of course, to expect this, that as the eye got closer, and it's still, of course, a long way off, but at this point, much closer, and we're really starting to feel the real effects of it. The water, in addition to now the intense wind. And we are told by the Emergency Operations Command here in Jacksonville that the eye, they don't believe, will get at its closest point to Jacksonville for several more hours. It's a good ways from here to Wilmington, for where the eye is just now coming ashore, a good 50 miles or so. So we've got a ways to go before we really get into the serious stuff. We'll continue to watch it. Back to you.
All right, that is CNN's Jeff Flock in Jacksonville, North Carolina. All right, we've got it here. As the massive storm begins its assault in North Carolina, CNN's Bill Delaney is at the center of it, and he's joining us now by telephone from Wilmington, North Carolina, right near where the storm is hitting. Bill?
We are very much in that serious stuff that Jeff Flock was referring to. We are just outside Wilmington, down in Wrightsville Beach, as far as the police will let us go toward the Atlantic coast, and we are now in full force hurricane winds. These are 100-mile-an-hour winds. I'm looking at a string of traffic lights, which look like they're about to fly off at any minute. They're bobbing quite violently in these winds. We're seeing many street lamps exploding, as one typically does in these hurricanes. Great sheets of rain blowing across from where we sit inside our van here. No signs being thrown over or pieces of roofs coming off or visible structural damage. This is still, as we've been saying, now a Category 2 hurricane. While these winds are quite dramatic and more than strong enough to rattle and shake our van, of course, we can have much bigger hurricanes. Violent as these winds are, gives one, if anything, a sense of how profound the winds that were anticipated a few days ago, those 155-mile-an-hour winds of a Category 5, would have been. But still, we're seeing a lot of small tree debris blowing in the streets now, and we're certainly finally feeling the full punch of Hurricane Floyd here in Wrightsville Beach.
Bill, can you talk to us a bit about the storm surge and flooding in Wrightsville Beach? Have you seen any signs of it from where you are?
Well, yeah, this is the great concern. There's been flooding here all day. It was raining. It's been raining for well over 24 hours here. A rainstorm, not a part of the hurricane storm system, had already come into this part of Carolina. So they had a lot of rain last night. But we now have at least 13 inches of rain in the past 24 hours. 2 weeks ago, Dennis dumped 7 inches of rain here in this part of southeastern North Carolina. So this ground is very, very, very saturated. That's gonna make it. If trees do go over, they're going to go over because the ground is so soft. That's the first problem with the water. The second problem, of course, is the storm surge. The winds are strong. If they stick around for a while, and this is a fast-moving storm, they may not stick around for a while. That storm surge is still the problem that we'll face here. At the same time, we're not seeing any greater flooding at this point than we saw earlier in the day. There are patches of flooding that it's very difficult to get a car from. But we've been able to maneuver in this storm now for the past couple of hours, driving around Wilmington and Wrightsville Beach.
I imagine we'll get a better assessment of the damage come morning. But now for the latest on the hurricane's position and where it's heading and how it may behave, Dan Brown joins us from the National Hurricane Center in Miami. Mr. Brown, can we officially say that the storm's made landfall? Dan Brown? Hello, Dan Brown, can you hear us? I think we have, I apologize, I think we've got our communications problem. We're going to take a short break and be right back.
Daddy!
Hi, Pumpkin.
Daddy's home. What did you bring me?
Oh, look what I got for you. It's a bracelet. I got Mommy one just like it.
People are cheap. That's why since 1986, we've helped millions get the lowest airfares. Cheap tickets, because you're cheap, and so are we.
In our fast-paced world, it's important to take a moment to relax. Immerse yourself in one of the world's most inspiring musical experiences. Introducing the most relaxing classical album in the world ever. A listening experience perfectly suited to your world. Surround yourself with the tranquility and classical grandeur of Bach, Beethoven, and Mozart. This once-in-a-lifetime treasury is performed by today's greatest classical artists. Most relaxing classical album in the world ever. Over 2.5 hours of the world's best loved classical themes. To order, call now. This outstanding collection has been digitally mastered to further enhance this definitive listening experience. The most relaxing classical album in the world ever. On 2 CDs or 2 cassettes. Call now to order yours. To order, use your credit card and call the number on your screen. Or send check or money order for $22.98 for 2 cassettes. Or $24.98 for 2 CDs. Plus shipping and handling to the address shown. Remember, this collection is not sold in stores. Rush delivery available. Call now.
We have the communications back on track now. Let's go to the National Hurricane Center, and forecaster Dan Brown is standing by. Mr. Brown, can we officially say that Floyd's on land?
Yes, right now Floyd is making a landfall as we speak around Cape Fear, North Carolina. Winds are about 110 miles per hour, sustained winds. We've had reports at a buoy just offshore of sustained winds of 100 miles per hour with gusts to 112 miles per hour. And a few land stations have actually had a wind gust over 100 miles per hour in the last 30 minutes or so.
And the storm surge, which is something everyone's worrying about.
Yes, we're expecting storm surges of about 7 to 11 feet right along the coast just to the east of where it makes landfall over the next, say, hour or two. Is it
going to pose a serious problem along the coast?
Yes, it will. It looks like with the wind and the storm surge will produce a lot of damage right along the immediate coast, and the maximum winds are going to spread a little bit further inland around Wilmington over the next hour or two.
Mr. Brown, very quickly, tell us where the storm's going to head now.
It looks like it's going to continue off to the north-northeast and should head up towards through eastern North Carolina and Virginia over the rest of today and weaken slowly into a tropical storm probably by tonight.
But it's going to whip the coast all the way up along the way, huh?
It does. Look like it may end up bringing tropical storm force winds through Washington, D.C. and New York City over the next 36 to 48 hours.
Okay, thank you. That is Dan Brown at the National Hurricane Center. Gene?
Another story we're tracking this morning. 8 people are dead following a shooting rampage inside a Texas church. A gunman wearing black stormed into the Baptist Church in Fort Worth Wednesday evening and opened fire. 6 people, including 3 teenagers, were killed. At least 8 others were wounded before the gunman turned the weapon on himself. An 8th victim, another teenager, died later in a hospital. Rebecca Lopez from our affiliate, WFAA, joins us live from Fort Worth with the latest. Rebecca?
Well, right now we are basically waiting for police to process the scene. Right now it is just wait and see because they've actually been in earlier tonight. They checked Wedgwood Baptist Church. They checked inside for any explosive devices. Earlier they believe that a pipe bomb did go off inside the church, but now they have gone in there. They have swept the church. They did not find any other explosive devices, and now they are just going to process the scene. It is going to take a couple of days for them to process the scene because there are victims scattered throughout the church. There are 4 victims in the sanctuary. The shooter is on the back pew. 1 victim is in the auditorium and 1 victim is in the entryway. Meanwhile, family members are at a nearby school in an auditorium and they are waiting for positive identification of the victims. So you can imagine it's going to be a very frustrating night for them as they wait and see, and also obviously very terrifying here. Earlier today, here's what some of the witnesses say they saw.
It kept on going on. We knew it wasn't an act. He shot a bunch of people, and there's a bunch of people hurt, and then he shot himself. And
did you see him shoot himself? What did he do? Describe what he did.
He put it to his head, and he shot himself.
Young people in the packed sanctuary say they first thought the shooting was part of a play being performed at their prayer service. Then they saw the bullets flying and their friends falling to the floor.
My friend got shot right next to me. She had gotten shot in the neck, I think, and she just started bleeding everywhere and everything.
He reloaded his gun like twice, and then he was just shooting everybody, and this one girl got shot and goes in front of me, and everybody was just scared.
Kenzie got shot!
Some parishioners dove under pews while others scurried for the exits. Meanwhile, the assault continued.
And we heard him swearing, saying that Baptists were, you know, mean, and he was cussing constantly.
Someone stood up in the sanctuary and confronted this man?
He pointed his gun, and someone said, I know what you need, sir. You need Jesus in your life. And I heard a shot.
Descriptions of the suspect vary slightly. Some witnesses say the gunman was wearing a brown jacket. Others recall his hat and sunglasses or the cigarette he was smoking. But what they all remember is what he had in his hand.
What I could really describe to you is the muzzle flash of his gun. That's what's etched in my mind.
Police are saying at this time that they believe they know who the gunman is, but they are not releasing his name at this time. They have found a car they believe registered to the suspect, but again, they are not releasing any details at this time. Rebecca Lopez reporting live in Fort Worth. Back to you.
Thank you. And we are returning to our hurricane coverage now, and Hurricane Floyd is making landfall as we speak around the area around Cape Fear, North Carolina. Its hurricane-force winds are extending 115 miles from the eye. A little earlier on Wednesday, though, Floyd flirted with Charleston, South Carolina by blowing 80-mile-an-hour gusts there. And CNN's Carl Rochelle is hunkered down in Charleston and joins us with the latest from there. Carl?
Brian, the merchants here, the people in this area in Charleston, South Carolina, took the warnings very seriously, the warnings that they could face 156-mile-an-hour winds, a Category 4 storm, Hurricane Floyd, and many of them boarded up. If you look across the street from where I'm standing now, there are roughly a dozen stores in this block, all except for about 3 of them boarded up their windows. Now, let me take you across the street here. You always get a little bit of graffiti out of the boarding up of a storm, and here's one that says "The Dark Side of Floyd." Just one of the many signs that someone took the time to put a little marking on as they made their way in cleaning up this area, preparing this area. A number of people here, you will see some activity through. These are the police coming through the street. We have had a constant run of cars through. There's a curfew that went into effect at 7 o'clock last evening, and it stays into effect until 7 o'clock this morning. So there's a lot of police activity constantly coming by the street. The police are about the only people we have seen out here, except for a few people in the media. Damage in the area was sort of minor. You may be able to see back behind me, if we can walk a little this way, one piece of a tree branch. Now, we're on Meeting Street, one of the historic streets in the downtown Charleston area, and it's lined with trees. It's a very picturesque street, but one of the trees lost a large portion of its limbs down to the early part of the storm. We had winds in here roughly 80 miles an hour. Occasionally it was gusting up to almost 90 miles an hour, but that is about as heavy as the wind came. We had a lot of heavy rain. We lost power in the downtown area about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, a lot of phone service. We were told that a transformer blew out. Not much in that area, 1 or 2 lights still on. We got most of the power back on about 2 hours ago. You can see street lights on in the area, stoplights are working again, but no traffic out on the streets. The barrier islands, Folly Beach, Isle of Palms, that were hit so hard in Hurricane Hugo about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, this month, actually, were closed down. They evacuated the people off of those islands. They are closed down now. Officials in the Emergency Operations Center tell me that they will go in tomorrow morning at first light, perhaps even before that, if they can tell with the spotlights, look to see whether there are power lines down, whether it's safe for people to go back in, and then open those areas up. And those curfews we expect to be lifted shortly after the sun goes up this morning. Officially, they're down at 7 o'clock, but we expect them to be removed altogether, Brian.
All right, thanks, Gene. I'm sorry. Thank you, Carl, in Charleston, South Carolina. Gene.
It's been a long night. Long before Floyd, forecasters were saying this could be an especially brutal hurricane season. Based on what? Here is CNN's Ann Kellen.
Blame the force and direction of Hurricane Floyd on 2 oceans, a cool Pacific that steers the storm, and a warm Atlantic that fuels it.
Really, the ocean is simply the fuel tank for these great hurricanes, and right now I would characterize the South Atlantic as high octane, and the magic number is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And what we're seeing in the Atlantic right now is temperatures are 82 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
Activity in the Pacific Ocean dramatically influences Atlantic storms via the jet streams. These upper-level winds steer most major U.S. weather patterns. During an El Nino, when Pacific waters are warmer than normal, the tropical jet stream, seen in red, tends to block and weaken tropical storms headed toward eastern U.S. shores. Not the case this year. The opposite phenomenon, La Nina, means cool Pacific waters. They tend to steer the jet stream north, leaving the door open for oncoming storms like Floyd.
The hurricanes naturally tend to move from east to west. Because of the rotation of the Earth, actually the Coriolis force, the northern part of the hurricane moves faster than the southern part of the hurricane, and so they tend to move across the Atlantic towards the Caribbean and the United States.
Conditions again are very similar to last year. Warm water in the Atlantic, cool water in the Pacific. Even though we're on the historical average right now, 5 to 6 tropical storms being generated so far. Last year at this point in time, 9 more tropical storms were generated, and big ones such as Mitch during the second half of the hurricane season.
Busalaki predicts that La Nina will stick around another 1 to 3 months. With Atlantic waters still warmer than normal, conditions are still ripe for more storms to threaten U.S. shores. Ann Kellen, CNN, Atlanta.
Stay with us. Still to come, a typhoon named York, another storm causing turmoil in the world.
Looking for a new house? How many can you see in a day? 4? 8? 30? Homeseekers.com offers online access to hundreds of thousands of homes nationwide, so you can view exactly the kinds of homes you're looking for, in your price range, with no sales pressure. Get to know the market, pick the homes you want to see, then call your real estate professional. Homeseekers.com, where every day is an open house.
Ditech.com puts extra cash in your pocket with their new 125% second mortgage with 0 points.
Use our second mortgage to consolidate bills, pay college tuition, give your daughter that wedding she's always wanted.
A 125% loan means you can borrow more than the value of your home. And 0 points means you'll save a lot of money on closing costs.
That's up to $150,000 in your pocket.
Log on to ditech.com or call 1-800-71-FIXED.
Okay, out there, let's get one thing straight. If you have a family, a kid, a house, you need insurance. But more than that, they need you to have insurance. Now, I know what you're thinking. You've got the body of an 18-year-old. You're going to live forever. The only thing that could do you in would be lightning or a cattle stampede. Ouch. Hey, this isn't about you. It's about your family. So protect them with term life insurance from Money. A $250,000 policy costs as little as... That's cheap, and that's per month. Guaranteed for the first 10 years. Plus, it's convenient because you can get it direct from the Money family, a name that's been around longer than you or I could ever hope to be. It's just a few dollars a month. So call them. It's quick, easy, and you can get started right now over the phone. Term life insurance from Money. It's the least you can do.
Call Money and find out how to help make your family feel more secure. If you call now, we'll even send you a calculator and insurance worksheet to estimate the coverage you may need.
Snowball. He's in it for revolution. The only good human is a dead one. From Hallmark Entertainment, the next major television event, Animal Farm. See it Sunday, October 3rd at 8, only on TNT.
Hi, I'm Jamie Crummell, and I'm watching CNN.
We've been focusing most of our attention on Hurricane Floyd this morning, but there is another major tropical storm to talk about. It's on the other side of the world. It is Typhoon York. More than 100 people were injured as the storm moved over Hong Kong. And bracing through that storm right now is CNN's Hong Kong Bureau Chief Mike Shinoy, who joins us live. Mike, you doing okay?
Hello, Ryan. Well, Typhoon York has been pounding Hong Kong for most of the day. Winds coming close to 100 miles an hour. The eye of the storm actually passed right over the heart of Hong Kong an hour or two ago. Over 100 people have been hospitalized. One person has been killed, and this normally bustling city of 6 million people is totally shut down. Banks, schools, financial markets, airport, all public transport completely shut down, and the government has been appealing to people to stay inside, and so far most people have been heeding that warning, trying to wait out this typhoon, the worst such storm to hit Hong Kong since 1983. Brian?
Mike, I don't want to keep you there any longer, but is there such a thing as a storm surge that you have to worry about?
It's a different kind of situation here, so high seas are really a bigger issue. This is a big port, so it's not really a storm surge that people are concerned about, but rough seas for people who may be on boats or they're living on boats. There's also some concern after the storm passes through Hong Kong, which has a pretty sophisticated system for monitoring these kinds of events. It's going into Guangdong province in southern China. That's a rural, undeveloped area with a lot more flimsy structures, and based on what's happened in the past, often you get a lot more casualties there. The storm now is about 20 miles away from the heart of Hong Kong, heading towards southern China, and so we'll be watching to see what kind of damage it causes there. But for now, people here are just hunkering down, trying to wait it out.
All right, thank you. That is a brave and rather wet Mike Shinoy, who's braving Typhoon York, which is right over Hong Kong right now. Now let's go to our weather center here in Atlanta and check on the progress of Hurricane Floyd. Orland Sydney is standing by. Orland?
Well, it's not often you get to see a landfalling hurricane on the satellite picture as clearly as this, but the center, not an eye anymore, but the center of Hurricane Floyd is moved on shore somewhere right around, looks like Cape Fear. If you count Bald Head Island, I guess you could say Bald Head Island was landfall, but if you don't, then Cape Fear area would certainly be the best point, and it is moving through the Wilmington area with some very strong gusts now. That's the inner eye wall that's about to move through parts of Wilmington. So they're going to see some very gusty winds and very dangerous conditions, I'd say, for the next hour, hour and a half. Maybe even 2 hours. As we go on through the next several hours, remember that our storm is moving rapidly to the north and northeast, so that's certainly good news. That means maybe a little bit less rainfall than you might otherwise expect. Still winds of 110 miles an hour, expecting those to start dropping off very rapidly as we head through the morning. Hurricane warnings are still in effect from Modesto Beach, South Carolina to Cape Henlopen. This will probably be changing with the 5 a.m. advisory that's coming out from the National Hurricane Center. And we also have hurricane warnings still in effect for the southern Chesapeake Bay Bay, the Albemarle Sound, and Pamlico Sound. If you're going to be north of that area, you will see tropical storm warnings in effect from Plymouth, Massachusetts to Cape Henlope in Delaware. North of Plymouth up to the border there with Vermont, actually north how about New Hampshire and Massachusetts? There's a tropical storm warning in effect there that I just saw. Delaware Bay, the Potomac River Basin, and the Chesapeake Bay are also included in this tropical storm warning. Tornado watch is still in effect as well. This is the very latest on the radar. You can again see those heavy rain bands starting to move through Wilmington, northward to around Jackson. Still some very heavy rain around Rocky Mount and northward to Richmond, Virginia. Brian?
All right, thanks, Orla. We'll be back to you soon. Coming up next, President Clinton returns to the U.S. early because of the hurricane. And a reminder, you can find the latest hurricane information online 24 hours a day on our website. And the address is CNN.com.
Log on to CNN.com. It's more than just breaking news. It's information you can use. Get the latest on movies, music, TV, and book reviews from around the world to your desktop, wherever you are. Get it all at CNN.com.
Daddy!
Hi, Pumpkin.
Daddy's home. What did you bring me?
Oh, look what I got for you. It's a bracelet. I got Mommy one just like it.
People are cheap. That's why since 1986 we've helped millions get the lowest airfares. Cheap tickets, because you're cheap, and so are we.
When I was fat, I was in this shell. I never wanted to go anywhere. I don't need to hide myself anymore. I lost over 50 pounds with the Slim Fast plan. I've kept it off for 5 years. I'm so full of life. I love to work out, and I drink a shake every day. Delicious. I will never go back.
23 vitamins and minerals, protein, calcium, fiber, all the balanced nutrition like a healthy meal.
It feels so good. Gosh, it's phenomenal.
Slim Fast every day. Balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
I love who I am now.
1-800-US-SEARCH, the #1 people locator service worldwide. Locate a long-lost friend or family member. Many of our customers only know the name of the person they'd like to find. Over the phone or online, find anyone, anytime. Our search center is always open 24 hours a day. Who do you want to find? Find anyone. Call 1-800-US-SEARCH.
Journey through 1,000 years of wonder. Millennium premieres October 10th on CNN.
With Hurricane Floyd churning up the eastern seaboard, President Clinton returned to Washington last night after a week-long trip to New Zealand. The president had planned to spend some time playing golf in Hawaii. On his way back home, he canceled those plans to devote attention to Hurricane Floyd.